Welcome to the first of the two extremes discussed in the Breaking Point video, that opposite of existence, extinction. Of course, we will examine this concept in its material and philosophical dimensions. First of all, everyone who is aware of his existence or not is inevitability aware that something is disappearing around him. We can equate the search of a baby for its mother with a forest that realizes that dew is coming and cannot find water. Likewise, the withering away of an emotion or human relationship that we have nurtured in us at the beginning and the formation of a feeling of emptiness is an example of this. So, is there really an escape from this situation, or is the situation to be avoided really extinction? Or should this situation be accepted in order to ensure the flow? Let's take a closer look at the last span of the scale we have created for each concept we will use in the future videos of our journey. Energy doesn't come into existence out of nothing, nor does it disappear from existence. However, the transformation of energy in material terms is inevitable as a result of the reactions occurring due to the existence mentioned in the last video. I leave the link of that video below. If we think about those reactions and give an example, the collision of masses realize heat, light and sound. Material annihilations are necessary for material new existences. You can't get anything without giving something. The perspective here leads us to realize that annihilation is actually a key point in transformation. That annihilation is necessary for the continuation of existence. But what happens if the person, material or situation that disappears is not replaced by something equivalent? What if the situation that disappears is replaced by something less valuable or nothingness? What happens then to the balance? What happens to our emotions and thoughts, or our financial situation? To understand this is in more detail, we need to look at the abstract side of it. The abstract part of extinction is really the most difficult part. As it's not easy for humans to make sense of abstractness, the abstract reflections of the disappearance of situation on it shake emotionally weak people deeply, while trying to make strong people fall into inner voids and drown them in deep thoughts. Using concepts that you can only feel and think about in a situation that has already disappeared will be like falling into fire, but when used correctly, even if it cannot change the reality of disappearance, at least it will significantly reduce the effects on you. The invisible part of absence is actually the most obvious, because you don't care about change, you don't even look at where the world is going. You only focus on the loss. Believe me, this situation will vary in direct proportion to the size of the situation you have lost. If it's a pen that has disappeared, you will have different thoughts and feelings. And if it's a relative, you will have completely different thoughts and feelings. Speaking of the loss of a relative, what can be said about the destruction of the self? That's death, or the destruction of the universe, the apocalypse. Since these need to be talked about in themselves, we will make videos of them the continuation of our journey. When we consider the two states of annihilation together, question marks turn towards ourselves. What do I want to keep in my life, or what do I want to keep? What's the priority ranking of these for me? We need to understand that everything that flows away, disappears, although it is materially and spiritually at our disposal, doesn't actually belong to us in the first place, but is already in our hands as a result of that disappearance of something else or as a result of someone's loss. Acceptance of cycles is the only material that can fill both the emptiness caused by annihilation within us and the shells in our lives. No matter what you believe in, through acceptance you learn how small you are and how to stay calm and move on in the face of situations that you cannot change. The most important thing that extinction teaches us, the most important lesson to be learned is to appreciate what we already have, what touch our lives and what's with us. And with this awareness to realize how important extinction is along with existence. No matter what's inevitable, we have to understand that extinction is a reality that must be accepted before we can examine what to existence are going for the health of our lives for a conscious life because we exist. Reality.